Make sure we can get live here on TikTok. As y'all can see, YT, you guys are not seeing me, but I hope you guys can hear me very clearly. If you cannot hear me, I'll make sure to kind of step outside and not step outside, but step aside to be able to see you guys' comments. If I don't see you guys' comments, please don't beat me up for it. We're live right here on TikTok as well, so we're just gonna get started. I'm so excited. You guys can kind of see the setup on YouTube. Y'all see we have the whiteboard steady for you guys because I've learned that for me, I am a visual learner as well as I can kind of talk as well. Um, so right now we have different kind of setup. I cleaned out my mom's shed, y'all, and pretty much y'all can kind of see me right here on YT. Y'all can kind of see me a little bit. So you can kind of see what I'm doing with my hands and stuff like that. So we're gonna get started. I'm excited. I helped, well, I didn't help anybody do anything. I actually just went ahead and cleaned my mom's shed. Reason being is from when I moved back in 2024, I had some stuff still in there, like some old clothes, and I have some kind of new things kind of going on, and I wanted to just go ahead and help where I could, which was simply just clearing out the stuff that I know I had in there in order just to kind of help them figure out what's going on, and I think it's very important that we all take the time to cleanse our areas, cleanse the things that we think kind of we need to get rid of. A lot of times I think we can hold on to clutter. And that's another form of blocking manifestations and just blocking certain things out of your energy. So happy Monday to you guys. Happy Mindset Monday. And I hope that we can talk about some things today that can help you shift. I hope that we can talk about some things today that can help you internalize a little, some different, deeper things about yourselves. In the book club in the Discord, we're reading Atomic Habits, and I'm pretty done with Atomic Habits. I don't think all my students are, but I think that if you have a coach and you have a mentor, they should be a little ahead of you. You know what I mean? I used to get frustrated with myself because I'm like, dang, like I feel like I'm not taking the time to walk with my students, but it's important that I know things before they do. So give it up for everybody on YT. Okay, give it up for everybody on TikTok, and we're about to get started. So what you're looking at right now, folks, you're looking at some notes from the book Atomic Habits. If you've never read that book, I would highly recommend that you put that on your to-do list. And what's even cool about it, right? I have a virtual book club too. So where people are literally connected to books. Um on the go, you know what I mean? Because everybody is busy, and everybody, don't always have the time to incorporate the things that they want. But I want to be the first one to tell you, if you're under the sound of my voice, that it's not about having the time, it's about making the time. And I like to say that if there's something that you're trying to get accomplished in your life, you have to make time for it. It has to be a priority for you. So I kind of just want to talk to you guys today about what's up, Smiley? Give it up on YT. I mean on TikTok. So I want to be very honest about when you're creating habits, it has to you have to do it in a way where it's important to you. Okay. Um, so today we're going to talk about problem versus solution. And I truly believe, thank you for your daily heart me. I truly believe that how would I want to put this? Most people feel like they can't get over things, and we hold on to so many things. It's only because we don't know how to get back to how it used to be before something was, done, or we experienced some things that kind of made us rearrange our brain and made things kind of like a harder process for us. But I want to be the first to tell you, if no one's ever told you that It's a very easeful process. I'm not saying that it's easy, I'm saying that it's easeful, meaning in a sense where you can set up a routine to where you're breaking down generational trauma within yourself, around yourself, and you're able to replace it with something even better. All right. So give it up for Brian Powell on YT. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for being here to Rags to Riches. And let's just get into it. So in the book Atomic Habits, not only do he tell us how important habits are, he literally breaks it down in small increments that anybody who's capable of listening can understand. And the way he does it in the book is he utilizes his own experiences. And I like to say that a lot of people, it is important to have coaches and mentors. I have coaches and mentors of my own. You should not be listening to anybody who does not have coaches, mentors, therapists of their own, because these people are not people who are willing to look at different perspectives. These are simply egotistical people, right? Although I am a teacher, I know that I have to be a student. Okay. So what I'm saying in the book, and I want you guys, if you're not a big reader, right? Let's say that you work a 9 to 5, right? You work in a way where it makes it challenging to do things that you know are good to do. Okay. So I want to just say, if you've never read the book Atomic Habits, you can go get it free as an audio on YouTube, completely free. 5 hours. It's 5 hours plus. It's like 5.5 hours. So you should know which one to kind of pick up and use. So right now, we're going to talk about what it means to reshape a habit. And as we talk about this today, I want you guys, if you're under the sound of my voice, that's no coincidence. So if you can take notes, take them. And then what I want you to do with those notes is look over those notes every single day and see how you can shift. All right. So we're going to talk about, so in the book, he talks about cue, craving, response, and rewards. So the reason why we have on the board problem versus solution is because it's showing you guys, he literally shows us, he walks with us step by step in the book where he's literally letting us know, like, okay, you have a habit which you become aware of it, and in a um philosophical sense it's called a cue, meaning a cue is when you realize something needs to change. So the cool thing about growth and development is as long as you give it a name, you can work through it. Okay. Let me say that one more time. As long as you give it a name, it is something that you can work through it. And the reason why you have to give the challenges in your life a name is because if you don't know what it is, you don't know what needs to change. It's just that simple. So in the Discord. So I have a Discord. If you guys want to get in tune with the Discord, please comment the word BIG right here on YT as well as on TikTok. And we will reach out to you guys and show you guys how you can get inside our Discord. Or if you're under the sound of my voice, you can go ahead and DM us right here on TikTok at monshay.flow, MONSHAY dot flow, FLOW. I'll say it one more time just in case I was saying it too fast. Please DM us here right here on TikTok at MONSHAY.flow, FLOW. All right. So let's keep going, right? So we know that a cue is when you realize something needs to change. There's nobody in the world who don't know what needs to change in their life because they're living it every day. Now the difference between the 99% club and the one percenters is that when they realize something needs to change, they move into the next phase, which is what he liked to call the craven stage. And pretty much what the craven stage does is it notices something good or bad that it wants and it wants to obtain it. Now, the cool thing about the cue and the craven stage is that they have similarities. It's you recognizing that you may not embody a specific trait, but you would like to have this specific trait. So the cue and the craven stage is that battle between the mind, right? Is that consciousness conscious thinking between that subconscious thinking. And pretty much what happens between the cue and the craving stage, or the conscious and the subconscious thinking, is you go back with the good, knowing that you need this, and then you go back and forth with your comfortability. Now, the cool thing about what I'm doing right now, this 90-day challenge, you guys may be new here and you may not know that we're on a 90-day run to $5,000 to save up $5,000. And this is how Rags to Riches got created in the first place. Now, the cool thing about the 90-day challenge is I never started the challenge specifically to save the money. I know that I can obtain the money, and I know that the money is already within me, right? But the cool thing about it is my goal was to help others shift with the 90-day challenge. So although people in the Discord may not be specifically following along with us in the 90-day challenge, they're literally watching identity shifts at like they're watching it at row seat. Okay. So what up, Lauren? So the cool thing about the cue and the craving stage, once again, is if you missed it, is the conscious thinking between the subconscious thinking. So let's go back. So we said the cue is when you realize something needs to change. Most of the time when we realize something needs to change, what's up, Yana? when we when we realize something needs to change, not always do we take, the action. And the reason being is because we don't even know why we want what we want. We just feel the frequency of we need that thing. And that thing could be anything, right? We said the cue is when you realize something needs to change, and that something could be anything. That something can mean that you have a routine that you also love, but it's becoming couldn't it's becoming complacent to you. Or to give you another example, right? When you realize something needs to change, it could be like you realize that in your relationship that something is just not right, right? Or you can think about your job, right? Something needs to shift. So it's a shift that happens between the conscious and the subconscious thinking. And how that shift normally happens is when you identify what it is that you want to shift, why you need to shift it, and you figure out how you can shift it. Most people don't get past the cue stage because they start to overthink the process of what will happen if they no longer were in comfortability. Now, let me talk about the comfortability stage because I want y'all to really understand and hear what I say about comfortability. Comfortability is just something that allows you to be calm. It doesn't have worry. It doesn't have um all of the pressure of the world, right? A lot of times when we're trying to shift habits, we feel so much pressure that like, yo, one, why are you not where why aren't you already at this position, right? A lot of people we think like that. We think like, why haven't I been here? Why? And a lot of times we focus so much on the why instead of the how. How do I get here? How do I move past this? How, like, most people are asking why. You're trying to discover why something happened, and there's not always proof of why something happened. It's just that, yo, it happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of people just don't want to admit that. Like, it happened because things were not in the frequency that it needed to be in. Okay. So I love Atomic Habits because the way he breaks it down, he's like, yo, I brought a bag of apples and I put them at the bottom of, we learned that from our parents. What's up, Danny the pet sitter? We learned that from our parents. No, we learned that the bottom of the refrigerator. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I literally don't use the bottom of the refrigerator because I'm never gonna remember what's in there. Because most of the time I'm always in like flow state, so I'm always like moving at like rapid speed. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not digging something out of the bottom of the refrigerator. That's just me, and I'm not against y'all if y'all do it and you remember it. But he literally said in the book, he's like, yo, like, I put a bag of apples down there and I totally forgot and they got rotten. He said, but when I bought a bowl and I put the bowl on top of the counter and then I put the apples inside of the bowl, he was like, yo, okay. I found myself taking an apple every single day. So the good thing is when you put what you need to shift in front of you, you have no other choice but to shift. You have no other choice but to figure out the how. So I want you guys to think about something in your life that you feel like needs to change, or you feel like needs to shift. And I want you to figure out how can I see this every day so that I can work on it. And that's the difference between Q and craving, right? Because the Q is kind of like the question. If you guys ever, if you're Spanish or you speak a different language, Q kind of reminds me of que. So que in Spanish is kind of like what, right? So it's like the what, the Q is the what, the craving is the how, and then when we get into the solution part of the response, that's the action, and then we get to the reward. So if you're following along with me, I hope that this is making sense to you. Drop some fires in the chat so that I know that you guys are in tune with what we got going on, and let's move forward, right? Let's go a little deeper. So I went a little deeper. If you guys can see the board, so TikTok y'all can't see the board, but YouTube can. All right. So if you just want to see the board, if you want to see the notes, and you actually want to take down the notes, I would recommend coming over here on YT, and that's Monche Flow. So it's the same here on TikTok, just without the dot. It should pop right up for you. All right. Um, but if you can't look right now, it's a good thing you're on TikTok. So to go a little deeper, so now that we know the what, but the difference between the what and the how, and we also have examples of what our thought processes may say. Let's go a little deeper. So let's say you're in pain, right? Let's say you're feeling pain, whether it's from a heartbreak, whether it's from stumping your toe, whether it's from, hurting your finger. We know that we want to relieve the pain, right? That's how I want you to look at the cue and craving stage. So that's the problematic stage. That's where something is currently happening that we don't want to happen. Just that simple. So if I didn't make it simple as a baby, I hope that I just made it that simple for you. Because Q and craving may seem like, oh, what are you saying? But if I tell you like, yo, if you hit your funny bone and it is not funny, what are you gonna try to do? Try to relieve that pain. So the problem stage or the challenge stage is what I like to say, because I never have problems. I only have challenges that are here to stretch my capacity. Okay. And when we realize that the conscious and the conscious is telling us something needs to change, but that subconscious will always try to go back and forth with us, like, you don't need this. You'll be okay. Found you. What up, Danny, the pet sitter? So I want you to really hear me when I say this. Like, shifting a habit is not something that you have to do. It's only something that you do if you are experiencing some uncomfortability. You have to learn how to move and shift. Okay. And a lot of people, I'll be honest, a lot of people like feeling the pain. I tell you guys all the time, people like chaos. People don't want to come and sit in conversations like this, because what happens is their their current comfortability stage, or their current version of themselves, of how they look at themselves through their own identity, it kind of challenges that identity. It challenges that version of them. And that's what growth and development is, though. I'm gonna just be honest. That's what growth and development is. Growth development is getting uncomfortable with the current version that you are replicating into the universe. It's just that simple. And it's like, people don't want to put that truth on the table, because it's like, yo, you got to look yourself in the mirror. And when we say look yourselves in the mirror, as a coach, I'm not telling you as a coach, I'm not telling you to hate yourself. I'm just asking you to realize where you are in your life, and is the current version that you are operating as, is it being helpful to what your desired version is, or your desired reality is. If you are okay and comfortable with everything that you're receiving, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I'm one of those people where I would literally tell you, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If the machine is working with you, and because you've worked on this machine often, it works for you, cool. But let me be the first to let you know, if you're yearning, which just means your heart is singing for more, I'm showing you how to get it. Simple. It's that simple. All right. So now that we've learned the problematic stage, let's move to the solution because this is what the people want to hear, right? This is what the people want to hear. And I want you to notice if you're on YouTube, I want you to notice the difference between the problematic stage and the solution stage. And I want you to really hear me when I say this. Most people want the left side instead of the right side. And although it's super simple to choose which side you want to start with, most people don't choose the ease. They choose the roughness, which is okay because life gives you both. So it's okay that a lot of people, it's okay that you may feel like, man, I chose wrong or I did that. You didn't really choose wrong. No, you chose the path that was going to help you learn. I really believe that we choose how to find ourselves back to our home, which is within ourselves. Home is where the heart is, meaning home is within. It is not something that can be, experienced outside of self. It has to be felt within. And when we realize that, we will realize that, yo, I say in one of my rhymes, like, yo, if I could pray there, I can stay there. I ain't scared of like nothing. If I can pray there, I'm good. If I can pray there, I can stay there. I don't, even if I'm just meeting you, like I've slept in, rooms and stuff with people. Hi, man. Happy new day. You know, I literally went in a conference to where I was sharing a room with another person, and I literally could have shared a bed with another person, but I ended up being the only one without a bed because the divine knows I can't sleep in a bed with no random person, but I was willing to because I was at a conference and I was getting gems and I was around millionaires, so I didn't care. I literally was like, yo, okay, whatever we need to do. They're like, yeah, you guys are gonna pay for a room, you're gonna go half on it, and you may need to share a bed with somebody. And as long as it's a girl, I'm good. We're good. We're good. Okay. We're okay. So let's talk about the solution side. Y'all ready? So now once we figure out what we need to change and we figure out how something can help us change, right? We get to finding the proof. Now the good thing I tell people a lot about one thing that I tell people a lot about the universe when we go and we're talking about manifestation or we're talking about receiving things that we want, right? What I say, what I mean, what I tell people is this: the universe is going to hear your subconscious thoughts, which means what, big? Okay, excuse me, which means that it's not always about what you say, it's about what you believe deeply down inside when it's just you and the silence. Okay. So the cool thing about the universe is truly responding from what you believe, right? Excuse me, is what you believe. So if the universe is responding to the deep thoughts about what we believe, isn't it smart to work inwards instead of outwards? So, what I mean by that is that if we're going to shift, we have to first shift within before the outer will shift. It's just that simple. It's not, you can't go around it. You can't try to manipulate the energy. Thank you for the follow, babes. You can't try to manipulate the energy. You can't try to fake the work. You can't try to half step the process. You can do it. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You can do it. It's nobody's stopping you from half-assing your own life. But just understand that you're gonna get half-ass back. Simple. If you're giving half-ass to yourself, your partner is going to give half-ass to you because they're going to respect the anointing that you respect. Simple. The life that you respect, people are going to respect you at that level. It's that simple. So when it comes to manifestation and it comes to the universe is like, okay, they're saying this, but this is what they're always constantly thinking. They're always thinking about how it's not going to work out. So clearly that's what they want most because they're not really saying it all the time that they want this. They're not vocalizing that enough. And see, people, they can we go deep today a little bit? I don't got that much time. I got 20 more minutes. Okay. So let me get this out. Listen, this is the real shit over here. Okay. I'm gonna first say that, especially for TikTok. and YouTube, y'all know this is the real shit over here. And y'all know I get down in the nitty gritty. When you come to have a conversation with me, be ready to be challenged. Be ready for that perspective of yours that somebody tried to give you. Okay. Yes, I'm listening. Casa says she's listening. Still, I know I got Danny on YT. What up, Danny, the pet center? The pet sitter. Pet center. Hold on. Danny, you about to get a pet center? Danny, yo, if you get a pet center, Danny, I'm bringing all my babies to you. I know my babies is gonna be loved. I know they're gonna be groomed with ease. Hell yeah. Y'all give it up for Danny on TikTok. All right. So watch this. Okay. I know I teach all over the place, but see, everything is in alignment. So if you're here, thank you for your patience because it's gonna shift your life. It is. All right. So the cool thing about the universe is going to respond to things that you constantly think about, not what you constantly say. Although what you constantly say is important, what you constantly think is even more important and impactful to your life. So, what are you saying, Big? What I'm saying is the things that you think about that you think nobody hears is what the universe hears. Okay. So now that you know that, I want you to constantly start to work in your mind. And if you are a person who is always in their head, I am not going to tell you to get out of your head because that's hard to do. Okay. It's hard to get out of your head, it's hard to run away from yourself. But what I will try to give you a perspective of doing is making it a good place to be. If you always want to be in your head and that's somewhere that is a comfort zone for you, don't make it a living hell because hell is a mind state, it's not a place. Hell is something that can follow you around for the rest of your life if you allow it to. And heaven can be following you around for the rest of your life if you allow it to. It is about your mindset, what you think about when you think can't nobody hear you. Just that simple. So I'm not thinking negative thoughts. Although we get 30 plus thousand thoughts a day, you get a choice to choose what you want to pour your energy to. And when I tell a lot of people that, y'all, they don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that, yo, it's what you thinking is as to why your reality is the way it is. If listen, if you think some negative ass shit and the first thing if somebody tell you something or tells you about an opportunity and the first thing you think about is what's wrong with it, that's a shitty ass pessimistic ass mind. Simple. And it is that simple to shift. It is that simple to grow and develop. But people don't want to do it because it's so much easier to choose whining and bitching and moaning and groaning. I'm gonna just be real. I talk that real shit. Like if this real shit ain't for you, I understand. But if it is for you, I want you to get up and pull up your pants today because it's Monday, mindset day, and you can shift today if you choose to. You can shift your reality right the fuck now if you say, you know what, that's what I'm choosing. But let me be honest with you, you gotta wake up and choose it every day because you get 30 plus thousand thoughts a day, and some of them ain't always good. I was watching a video the other night and he literally said like, yo, your emotional you will be pulled to your emotional state of being of the five immediate people around you. Let that sink in. Ask yourself, who do I talk to on a regular basis? Where is their mentality? What do they like to talk about, the most? What are their habits? What do they like to do? Let me tell you something. Sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it's not your thoughts. And although it may seem a little cuckoo, I'll be honest to say, sometimes what you think is not your thoughts. This is why you have to be discerning of what you choose to ponder your energy on. Cause it could be somebody who really next to you and whole time they talking out their mouth like they happy, but they really suicidal. Nah, y'all ain't hearing me. Give it up in the chat. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all ain't talking enough in these comments on YT or TikTok. Because if I'm talking that talk, do y'all understand what I'm really giving y'all? Huh? I just told you. You are going to be emotionally pulled to the five immediate people in your God blessed life. And no matter how hard you fight nail and teeth, if you don't get from around them people or you don't help those people shift, you will be in that mind state, period. Huh? I see you, Danny. Let that sink in. That probably was a big pill to swallow. Let me tell you something. You better swallow it. And I ain't saying that Paul shit, man. We grown up in here. You better swallow that motherfucking pill, nigga. Ninja. Because if you don't, what's gonna happen is you're gonna take on these people energy all the damn time. I was literally thinking about those five people. When you said that. Happy New Day. What's up, La Goddess? Got a mod in the chat. I love my mods. Come on, Casa. Casa T. I get everybody nicknames over here. So Casa, you're gonna have a nickname. Grab your daily heart me so that I know it's real. So that I know you're a part of the family. I talk to people with the badges, man. I talk to everybody for real, but I really hype my people up with the badges. Grab that daily heart me. It's only a cent. You don't gotta see me no other gifts, but grab that daily heart me so that I know it's real. That's what I like to see. Come on, La Goddess. Getting out front, leading the pack. I like to see that. All right. So, although y'all are on TikTok, YT is getting the board. YT is seeing all of the notes. Why TikTok, y'all are used to not seeing the notes, but if you choose to want to see the notes, you can go ahead and go over on YouTube at Monshay Flow. It's right, like just like on here on TikTok, MonShayFLW. I'm new on TikTok. Give me a minute. Period. Take your time. Rich Rising CEOs. Come on, y'all know what it is. The BIGs is what I see in me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What up, Jess? How you feeling, baby? Y'all, I got me a little setup. TikTok can kind of see the setup. I set up a little different today. Sometimes you got to get up and just, do some different. I got some heat coming from y'all too. I can't wait. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the goat. Thank you for the motherfucking ice cream. I taste so good. All right, y'all ready, YouTube? All right, so now that we know these things, y'all, I want y'all to really understand how important it is to wake up and choose the life that you want to choose. And I tell people all the time it's good to journal in the rising because I want you to set the day up. Set the day up. A lot of people, a lot of my clients, they come to me and they're already writing. They're already writing. Yeah, you see me, might be you see me, you know, the BIG. Okay, come on now. Gotta get a little fancy with it. I'm a Scorpio. Y'all already know. Hold on. Hold on. Them real ninjas is coming out. Y'all feel that air getting a little different. Don't be acting like y'all don't feel that air getting a little different. The best part of the year is here. Okay. The best people of the year is here, baby. No shit to y'all. I love y'all so much. But them Leos, them Virgos coming out, them Scorpios coming out, them Libras coming out, them Sagittarius coming out. Hold on. If you're a Leo, a Virgo, a Libra, a Scorpio, or you a Sag up in the building, go and drop some fires in the chat. All right. So look, we coming through, you hear me? All right. So now that we know that the universe hears what we think constantly on, the thoughts that nobody hears, right? Them Libras coming. Come on, give it up for the Libras. I be fucking with the Libras. Libras got to bring that balance. All right. So now that y'all realize that in order to shift a habit, you have to choose to want to do it every single day. And it's literally not, you can plan, understand this. Success is planned, but what's important about, planning success is not staying in the rewards or staying in the end of it all. You have to be willing to work through it. And now that we know that our emotional state is of those of the five people that we talk to on a daily basis, now you should know what you need to shift. And unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like getting rid of people in your life is literally experiencing a spiritual death. It may not be a physical death, but it's a spiritual death. It's a spiritual experience where it doesn't always feel good. I've had to walk away from people that I've loved so deeply, so dearly to me. You know what I'm saying? But because of where they were, right? Because of where they were, like I've had to choose myself. And it's just that simple. A lot of times we feel like choosing ourselves aren't the best things to do, but it's like It's the spiritual things. Cutoffs are not physical, they're spiritual. Because I'm not looking about what I can get from you in the physical. I'm looking about where I'm trying to go spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And if you're yeah, it hurts bad. Big Libra. Danny, you a Libra? Hold on. Danny, you're a Libra? That's why I fuck with Danny, man. I love Danny. You're literally the balance. Like, I love that. I love you so much, Danny. Like, and I know y'all be listen, I know the world has made us feel like we can't tell people we love them, but I love y'all. I need y'all to understand, y'all that support me here, I love y'all. Simple. And I'm gonna let y'all always know that because it's not in a sexual way. It's literally like I look at y'all as my family. Simple. Like I love y'all so much. And if people I know that I grew up in a household where I love yous didn't go around. You didn't hear I loved you all the time at all, even if you could. So I've healed that part of my love, my inner child. And I'm just a lover girl. Like I love people, you know what I'm saying? And I want people to feel loved and vice versa. So give it up for y'all. Give it up for y'all in the chat. All right. So now that we've gotten through the what and the how, I want to talk about the action and the reward. So the response to knowing what we need to shift and we figuring out how to shift it, whether that is asking somebody that we look up to or asking somebody who is equipped in the skill set that we're trying to obtain. If somebody has a skill set that you want, why would you not go ask them a question? If you allow your pride to get in the way and you start to talk bad about yourself, oh, I'm stupid, I should know this, and I can't act. Listen, being that I'm a coach and I literally do this to get paid, y'all, the people who want to answer the question, we want you guys to ask the question. We're always willing to give somebody some type of growth and development. Never be scared to ask questions. And I don't give a damn how old you are. I don't care where you are in your life. If there's something that somebody has that you could use and obtain, I want you to literally ask them. Stop being fucking scared and shy and allowing that to hold you back and limit you. Simple. I'm a Taurus. That's all I got is love to give. I can definitely relate. See, Tauruses are our sister sign. So I'm a Scorpio rise. I'm a Scorpio sun. My rising is Leo. So yeah. I love Taurus. I love y'all so much. Wow, you got a birthday coming up. Okay. Okay. It's about to be lit. Danny got a lock. When your birthday? We got we got Danny the pet sitter. Her birthday September 26th. I like that shot. I like that. I like that. I gotta remember that. I gotta put you on my calendar. October 20th. Come on now. Whole time you low key a Scorpio cusp. You not to be fucked with. All right. So now once we get past the what and the how, what we need to shift, how we can shift it, now it's time to take action. So this is your response. This is your response once you figure out what needs to shift and how you can shift it and who can help you, right? I'm gonna throw the who in there too, because it's not about what you know, it's who you know. Simple. Okay. Although I'm very articulate and I'm very intelligent, I ask questions. That simple. If I know that you know something that I don't know, I'm gonna have you teach me. So that is just that simple. I don't mind being a student. Okay. And that's what's hindering a lot of people. You're scared to be a student and you're supposed to be a student of the universe. Okay. When we leave high school, we automatically think adult instead of thinking student. Because you should just believe that, yeah, I've graduated this version of my life, but I haven't graduated life in general. Because if that was the case, I wouldn't be here anymore. You know what I'm saying? I wish I already did think about that. So now that we're in the response, now it's time to take action. Now it's time to put together some type of game plan that's going to help us capitalize on shifting the things that we need to shift. Nothing is wrong with learning, literally. There's nothing wrong with learning. Like we literally learn every day. You may learn that, oh, a street is cut off because they're working on this, and you didn't know because you hadn't been down this road in 2, 3 days. Simple. Oh, you may go to the same gas station and you don't realize that the gas has went up. And then you notice it one day. It's like, huh. That's good to know. Or somebody gives you something out of the blue and y'all just having a conversation and they say that, oh no, I didn't know that. Good to know. You know what I'm saying? So always be a student, but understand that you can be a teacher too. And see where the teacher aspect comes in when you realize that you are a teacher and the student, when you get into teacher mode, that's allowing you to realize that, okay, you finally mastered that you are in controllable. So now teacher modes means you pick and choose the things that you learn every day. So what that looks like is if you picking and choosing chaos every day, you're picking and choosing how to learn how to do more chaos. But if you're picking and choosing like some high vibe shit, guess what you're guess what type of teacher you are. Cool. And that trickles down to what type of student you are. Okay. So once you realize it's time to take action. Simple. It, once you realize something, you should be trying to shift immediately. If you have the capacity to shift immediately, what happens is quicker you adapt, the quicker you become a master of whatever it is that you need to adapt to. Most people don't adapt quick enough, and this is not to say rush your process, but stop giving yourself so much goddamn time. That's one thing I know about my clients. They give themselves so much fucking leeway. Literally. So much goddamn leeway. And see, in the book Atomic Habits, once you get to the end of the book, he starts telling you, like, yo, you have to shift immediately. You cannot be trying to idle it. If you say it's gonna take me 30 days to clean my house, it's gonna take you exactly 30 days. But if you say, okay, cool, in the next 2 weeks, I want to read this book, and you actually hold yourself accountable and you put it in your face every day so that you can choose to do that, guess what's gonna happen? Life is gonna shift for you. Simple. And then when we talk about the rewards is just what you get in return. So if you say, I'm going to start something and I don't finish it, the reward is it's unfinished. The reward is I quit. Like that's simple. And although that may make a lot of people feel shitty, it's just like, let's just be honest. I'll admit I do that. Okay. So the cool thing about admitting it is that's the first step. That's the cue. That's when you realize something needs to change. And the craving is, right? Noticing something good and want to obtain it, right? Or feeling pain and wanting to relieve it. So how do we do that? Not why do we do that, but how do we do that? Who can I get connected with? Who has something? Who is more efficient in this area than I am? And you go work with that person as long as you need to, because I can promise you that person wants to work with you. Simple. Just that simple. All right. So give it up for y'all in the chat. Any questions? We got a few more minutes. Any questions? I got to get out of here. Any questions that I can answer right here, right now, before I get off of here? Because if you want a one on one, y'all know how to get that. DM me BIG. If you want a one on one and you willing to put your money where your goals are, DM me one. DM me BIG. I mean, sorry, y'all. Be over talking sometimes. But if you say big, I'm gonna be honest. I don't got the investment right now. You got 3 minutes right now to ask me any question that I can answer before I get off of here. I don't mind taking a few moments afterward. Thank y'all for tuning in for Rags to Riches, another class of it. Give it up in the chat for yourselves. All right. Um, you guys can pick up this recording actually if you want to go listen to this whole live and you actually came in a little later. Go sub to us on YouTube at Monshay Flow, MONSHAY FLOW. Okay, no dot. It's the same thing right here on TikTok. It's the same thing on YouTube, just no dot in between. All right. So no questions. I don't say, I'm trying to give y'all a little chance, you know what I'm saying? Because what's gonna happen is like this is the opportunity. Literally, I went to my mom's house and I washed some loads of clothes because y'all, I'm a baller that like the ball on a budget. If listen, if I can figure out how to get something with ease, I'm willing to do that. So I went wash. I had a load of clothes to wash. I was like, yeah, because I'm washing at the laundromat right now. And it's not irritating washing at the laundromat. I'm actually a person who will go wash my clothes and actually fold it. Thank you for your daily heart, me. Thank you, Lily Honey. All right. What's up, Key? Key, the keys, the keys. Key, you late, baby. Hold on. Shots fired in chat. If there's a question that I can answer for anybody on YouTube, if y'all got a question on YouTube, thank you for your daily. All right. Oh, that's what I was telling you. Cause as you should, baby. Listen, give it up in the chat for Key. This is important. We gotta do those daily rituals, baby. We got to do those daily routines now. All right. Don't y'all get scared in the chat because Key saying ritual now. She ain't doing nothing that got nothing to do with you, baby. We don't got look, we don't got the time to be doing all that, baby. That's too much energy given to you now. Them folks get a little scared. They see a little word that them people that made them scared to hear, man. Poor things. I got some exciting things dropping for you guys. You know what I'm saying? If you guys don't have any questions, I'm about to get out of here. I'm gonna chill for a little few more minutes because I really want to give you the opportunity to ask the question that you feel like you've been asking yourself. And let me tell you something, it may be a question that somebody else has and they're scared to ask it. So I ask you today, do you have a question that you want to get answered? Because guess what? We need bravery. Bravery is going to change the world. If they change the word to routine, they'll be okay. You see how, we ain't making nobody comfortable. If you scared, you might don't need to be over here if you scared, baby. Okay, you might need to be somewhere else now. You might need to go on over there with them scared folks over there now, baby. No. Am I single? Why y'all always trying to get me? This that heavy shit over here. This is nothing to play with. I don't know if I'm single. I think I'm definitely single, but I'm not looking to mingle, if that makes sense. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I don't think I'm truly like I'm single because I'm not married. But I got a little baby who gonna listen, and I don't wanna be the one you again. One thing I want y'all to know, like y'all see that we laugh and we joke here because I want y'all to know that girlfriend development doesn't have to be a chore. It's not something that has to be like, I gotta grow and develop. Or even like what Key said, oh, I gotta do my routines or I gotta do the things that, helps me, be who I am. Like, it doesn't have to be a chore. And one thing I'm learning is that, being in a relationship doesn't have to be a chore or, bonding and connecting with people, it does not have to be a chore. Girlfriend development doesn't have to be a chore, but people make it as that because they love their comfort zone so much that they're not willing to get out of it. And it's like it's not to say that you can't be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You can be very much comfortable. You know what I'm saying? We got a credit coach in the chat. Come on now. Okay, y'all never know who gonna come up and through here. Okay, if y'all looking to take care of y'all credit, look like somebody in the chat that can help you do that. I keep trying to tell y'all when opportunity presents itself, you don't get no chance to say, "Oh, let me get let me get you the mom." Like, nah, huh? That's what I was telling y'all. Like, I went to my mom's house and I was not you got some swim goggles. I'm nosy. Went to my mom's house, washing clothes, and I was in there, I was rolling, and I was like, okay, I'm about to go. She's like, oh, where you going? I'm like, oh, I'm about to go dry my clothes, and she was like, dang, I wish I had my covers and stuff washed. She was already washing like linens, but when I got there, she was in the bed. It's not my fault. Opportunity presented itself, and you was not ready. This is why I say y'all got to be ready. You know what I'm saying? For real, coach, man, for real. Opportunity presents itself here and it smacks you and keep on going. Not I. I'm always woke. I'm always ready for opportunity to present itself because I need that, you know? Thank y'all so much, YouTube. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all already know it's your host, B.I.G. What I see in me. And I'm gonna catch y'all Wednesday for another episode of Rags to Riches. Okay, with your host, B.I.G. You know what I'm saying? All right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.